3, 2, 1.
Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
He got a country behind him. A country.
Shane Mosley
and we know Mexicans been dominating. We know Mexicans and black fighters has been dominating for years. And you always get your biggest fight when you match the two together.
Justo quería que tú no tomaras esta pelea frente a Irlanda y Lara del campamento tuyo. ¿Tú lo pelearías otra vez con él? Cuando se enseña a pelear, te doy la revancha. But when he learns how to fight, then I'll give him the rematch.
Now I want to ask you another question.
Go ahead.
Who's beating me?
Nobody's beaten you yet.
That's all I want to know.
So why pick a guy 2 weight classes light?
That's all I want to.
When you have a guy who's got feet like Pacquiao, you have to point the gun. If I got the height, I have to come here. See, now you have to get this. You have to get through the first line of defense, and then you have to get to the second line of defense, right? Here's the third line of defense. I got 3 lines of defense. Now Pacquiao wants to hop all over the ring. You just keep it pointed. No matter where he goes, you just keep it pointed, and you're gonna find him doing just like that. If he's this way, wow, stay right over here.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the episode you'd all been waiting for. We are back from Las Vegas. We had an amazing time. Shout out to Chivas Regal. Shout out to Beer House for having us there, host the pre-fight, the official pre-fight. Chivas Fight Club, Canelo versus Gennady Golovkin fight. I mean, it was just an amazing time. We got to be in a private VIP high suite. We got to enjoy the fight, but I definitely went back home to view this one. So if this is what you're interested in, stick around, hit that thumbs up button and share it so that we could get some callers and get their opinions, because we are going to review Canelo Alvarez versus Gennady Golovkin. We have a panel full of hosts here. All my panelists are here. So we're going to jump out to the Golden State.
Dollar DiBiase production.
This is a beautiful performance against a very tough guy in Michael Johnson. How do you feel about it?
Fuck that. Conor McGregor.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
You know me, Larry. From a wicked entrance, from a flip over the rock into a knock. When here, the main thing is, I just hope the guy, I wish.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Yes, the hipsters here. Haters beware. And God, what a fight we saw on Saturday night. I know a lot of people were either saying it's a great fight, it's a good fight, but I think it was a great fight. You know, upon rewatching it and scoring it again, I was just enthralled by the overall fight itself. I think this is one of those that may not be right at that Keith Thurman, Sean Porter level of excitement, but it's a 0.01 notch below that. A fantastic fight. First off, both guys should definitely get a lot of respect. I think both men showed that they are great boxers, that they're future Hall of Famers. But yeah, I mean, scorecards. I mean, that's really what this whole show is going to be about. What's your score? Do you think it was a robbery, et cetera, et cetera? I can't wait to delve into it. Can't wait to chop it up.
Coming back out to New Jersey.
What's up, man? Yeah, man. Yeah, I just want to say I saw fight too.
Stay focused, stay working my dad. Nice boxing voice. So if he comes to fight, I'm going to look for him.
I saw the fight too.
I think you accurate.
Yup. You heard me. I saw the fight too, live and on TV. I scored it 115-113 for Canelo, but originally I did not score it that way. I matched up my scorecard with Matt on the live event in the VIP. Yes, definitely. Shout out to Chivas and Bar House, right? What was it? Beer House. So
Beer House.
And what a shout out. Bar House, Beer House. Come on.
Bar House. Strong Greens. And shout out to Ness for all the insults. Doesn't stop.
Tough love.
Might jukes him in the throat. But yo, it was a great time, and I had a great time. So thank you for the ticket. Thank you for the room. And yeah, awesome. Awesome fight. The fight had it all. Suspense, drama, punch exchange, and finally the controversy, right? Let's go.
Yep. That's kind of where we're at. So let's stay in New Jersey. We got the amateur Lainez. What up?
What's up, man? This fight was, what can I say? It lived up to the expectations, even though the draw was controversial. You know, to the fans that were watching the fight, it was a great experience. Overall, it was my second time in Vegas, and you know, being sponsored to do the show at Beer House by Chivas. We all learned how to pronounce Chivas, and you know, it was just amazing. The turnout, the support that the boxing community had for its champions was amazing. Got to speak to people all over the world that came to see this fight. I mean, we had Mark from Australia with us.
Dempsey surprised us.
Dempsey surprised us. You know, a lot of the TBV, you know, fam that supported us for a while was out there.
Troll surprised us.
Boxing Troll was out there. You know what I mean? So it was a great turnout. And T-Mobile Arena, man, you know, it's my first time being in that arena too. An amazing arena. You know, we were up there in the VIP. They treated us real nice. And even if you were just sitting in the other seats, I mean, everything just looked real clean. And yeah, it was an overall amazing experience. But back to the fight, shit, man. A lot of people, you know, with a lot of opinions. You know, it was a close fight. And I can't wait to get into it and see what the calls are going to be like on this show today. Ness is a munching.
Why'd you guys automatically assume I got to say something?
Because you're the lead host. But anyways, if you don't want to talk, I think we should at least go into our scorecards. I mean, we all know we can all say it's a great fight, but the controversy is what everyone, I think, is really interested in. Even though it was a great fight, no one's talking about how great the fight is. Everyone's talking about Adelaide Bird.
Let's take a different approach, not to get caught up in arguments. Let's ask each other. I'll ask you, fine gentlemen, now. What one thing, because I know Matt will go on a ramble here. What one thing impressed you about both men?
Maddie, you want to take the lead on this one?
I think Canelo's, a lot of things impressed me with Canelo, I'll be honest. But the one thing that impressed me the most was his footwork. The same thing in the Jacobs fight that impressed me the most with Jacobs was that footwork. And again, that could be more of an indictment on Triple G, but I don't think that. I think that Canelo, like Jacobs, has far superior footwork than we ever thought. We underrated both guys. I thought Canelo was going to be stuck along the ropes a lot more than he was, but the way he was able just to turn and just get out of there with such ease, every time Triple G threw that right hand, Canelo would just slip it and just go out the side door. I thought the overall defensive, but especially the footwork, the defensive footwork of Canelo was just truly impressive. And Triple G, I think that, I know we have always said his chin is otherworldly, but this fight showed that more in any other way. I think the durability and the fact that he just keeps coming. He is a Terminator. He is a guy that can just keep taking shots, and he will be in your face, jabbing you, trying to set up a power hand to go to the body. He will hunt you down. You have to be on your A game all 12 rounds to survive that.
So, I mean, what is that? I mean, because
the durability, heart, you know, like those things. I think Triple G just continues to impress me with, to be honest.
All right. Enrique, where are you with this one?
All right, who am I?
The one thing
out of both fighters or
both?
Yes.
All right. Well, both fighters. Triple G, to me, he looks exactly the way he always looks. You know what I'm saying? He's jabbed. He's getting hit. He's throwing punches that are hard. He lands them sometimes, but he gets hit a lot. And seeing that on television, not in person, caused my scorecard to go towards Canelo. Canelo, what I saw and it really impressed me, and I kind of thought it was going to happen, was that he was going to be very agile and landing combinations. And what I did not see on live, he was landing most of the punches first round, second round, third round. You know what I'm saying? Had Triple G nodding his head. I didn't see that live. I saw Triple G having Canelo nod his head. I was impressed by Canelo reflex, movement, asking for a war, landing.
Whoa. We said
That's
one thing.
Right. Well, the one thing was his aggressiveness towards the boogeyman, if you want to put it in that phrase. That's it. They're willing to exchange with him. He was there. He was combination. And he was willing to take more. He was
okay. I could take that. His bravado. I'll take that. And,
but
Matt said his heart.
Which
right? Or did you say Triple G's heart? You said Triple G's heart and Canelo's footwork.
Yeah, of course. Again, that was what you made me pick one thing. Definitely Canelo's heart and durability.
Yeah,
definitely
the
impressive.
one thing that stood out.
Triple G's pressure and Canelo's heart.
All right. Amateur, what about you?
You know me. When I was watching the fight live, you're watching it as a fan, but when you start scoring it and you start counting punches and you start scoring it the way you should as a judge, I gotta say, so far, I'll be honest, I've only judged it up to the 4th round, but in those 4 rounds, I gave Canelo the 1st, 2nd, and 4th so far. So
you're gonna ignore the question, right?
I'm not ignoring. I'm leading up to that, man. Come on, give me that. Give me the roller coaster ride, all right, Maddie? So my impressiveness was that, like I said from the beginning, it was Canelo. He was going to have to box. The way he was able to deflect some of the power punches that Gennady was throwing was impressive. He was able to have ring generalship on the back foot. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean the guy giving the pressure is always the guy in control. And as far as Golovkin, he's always impressive, man. He has a granite chin. I mean, I saw some of these punches that landed on him by Canelo. They should have took his head off, and he walked through them. So, he's impressive in that manner that, he has an iron chin. And that he was also able to, still be on top of Canelo. His pressure was relentless. Yeah, I think we're all pretty much gonna be saying the same thing. I was like Matt and Enrique and Alex. I was impressed with Triple G's relentlessness, the Terminator mentality, regardless of what Canelo landed. And he did land. But Triple G's, like Matt said, to use his word, durability is proven. But just to play devil's advocate, so please don't waste your time typing hater. Just being devil's advocate to give us something to discuss. Is Triple G proven, or am I mistaken by thinking that Canelo was a 154-pounder who just moved up and this is legitimately his first fight at 160 because Julio Cesar Chavez is not really any weight?
But he's a
let alone middleweight that had to get down to 164. I mean, he was a ghost.
I don't think you can say that Canelo was a 154-pounder moving up for the first time.
Is this not his first official fight? Is this not his first official fight?
It's his first. No, it's not his first official fight.
Oh, no? So 164 is 160.
No, 155 with the Canelo weight and the Miguel Cotto weight that fought for a middleweight belt. That was an official middleweight fight. So sit down for a second, okay? You can't say he moved up. You can't say this is his first official fight in the division. He dropped the belt. He dropped the middleweight belt.
I said this is his first official fight with a middleweight.
That's fine.
Chavez was in the middleweight. Cotto is in the middleweight.
Again, beside the point.
No, that isn't beside the point. That's the point I'm trying to make. That we're saying Gennady is durable, but I'm asking or I'm questioning how durable when it's a junior middleweight punch.
He got hit by Jacobs. He got hit by Dave Lemieux. He got hit by Canelo. Nothing has dropped him. Nothing has even remotely even come close to giving him the stanky leg, making him get hurt and wobbled. Nothing has come close. So to say, Canelo, let me finish my thought. Let me finish. You brought it up. Canelo, you can't say Canelo at one point, who was a junior middleweight, moved up in a sense, even though he moved down 4 pounds from his last fight. You can't say that we now question Triple G's durability because of that. No, we can't question that at all. Canelo is a very hard hitter, and so is Jacobs, and so is Lemieux. We're talking about 3 guys who produce highlight reel knockouts on a regular basis, and they couldn't hurt him. They could not make him step backwards.
Matt, you made your case as to why his chin is still solid in your eyes. I'm just still putting out the narrative that we have to remember that Canelo is a junior middleweight that moved up.
I think that was the wrong narrative to play if you want to criticize Triple G.
No, it's going to be spoken of.
It's fine. I just think it's the wrong one. If you want to criticize Triple G and say, well, maybe he was something less than we thought, he was slow. You can say that, especially live. I think it showed it more live than maybe on TV. But Triple G looked like the much slower, older fighter in there.
And let's not forget, you're saying Jacobs, right? But Jacobs' biggest knockout is Peter Quillen, who has been dazed by numerous fighters. If you want me to begin the list, I can start one.
But we can go back to the day when we all wanted Peter Quillen to fight Triple G.
Gabriel Rosado put Peter Quillen's eyes like, I
don't know why you want to play this revisionist history with guys with over an 80% knockout rate. I think that's fucking
versus who though? That's the whole question.
Talking about power. Jacobs has power. Canelo has power. David Lemieux has power. Any of those guys have not tested Triple G's durability and Triple G has not passed with flying colors, I think makes 0 sense.
You're right. So, listen, without giving your scorecards yet, right, and a bunch of backstory, one-word answer. Is it a robbery?
No.
No.
No, not at all.
I was about to say that you had yours off. Yeah, I don't think it's a robbery either. I don't think it's a robbery. Now, again, keeping it simple, do we believe this rematch happens?
I mean,
how soon? I mean, I think the rematch is going to happen because big business was made. So the question is, do they drop the ball and not do it in May, right? Because May seems the most logical time for the rematch.
If it doesn't happen, May, but I won't be holding my breath for that. I won't be.
Say it should be May, Cinco de Mayo. If it doesn't, it's because they're trying to strategically age Gennady Golovkin and look way better than they did last Saturday.
Agreed.
And yourself, amateur?
I mean, it would make sense for that Cinco de Mayo, right? It's big business to have the rematch.
Agreed.
I wonder very quickly if this pay-per-view comes up disappointing in any way.
Numbers-wise.
Yeah, like if this did like 850. Is that disappointment? And are they thinking, well, we did $1 million with Chavez. Like, do we need Triple G to do big business?
Yeah, but who else can you do $1 million with if not Golovkin? I mean, maybe Cotto again. You go to the rematch. I mean, look, if you don't fight,
there's a possibility. There is.
I know on an earlier show I said that I'd like to see Canelo fight Billy Joe Saunders so that he could bring something to the table in May. I'd like to see him fight Billy Joe in December on regular TV. If somehow the Americans will be fooled into paying for it on pay-per-view, then Billy Joe Saunders on pay-per-view for the WBO title so that he could bring something to the belt. Other than the rematch, it'll be a undisputed unification fight, right? And if that doesn't happen, then I think the logical thing is the December fight with Cotto, because Cotto's leaving, and who better to capitalize? Like, Cotto's not gonna fight Gennady on his last fight, even though he could dare to be great on his way out. Seeing that Gennady doesn't look as dangerous as we thought. 3 fights in now with tough fights. And maybe Cotto changes his mind. Maybe Cotto and Freddie Roach think they could come up with a game plan.
Maybe, but again, money rules, especially for a guy like Cotto who is a money fighter. He is in possibly the last fight of his career. He's looking for a big payday, and then
A-side, Matt. He's the A side. Gennady is always easy to deal with. Tom Lawther's easy to deal with. Listen, what's
But he's
tougher
way more-
to do? Let me ask you this question. What's tougher to do? A Canelo rematch in December or a fucking Cotto Gennady in December?
in terms of just like negotiations?
Yes.
Probably Cotto Loeffler, but again, that depends on Cotto being willing to take that fight. If he's willing to take it, then yes, that's a much easier fight to
They
seal.
put that money out there. I mean, his last fight, why not? You could go out on your shield. Klitschko did it.
Something though, y'all talking like it's an easy win for the opponent that Cotto chooses, whether it be Gennady or Canelo.
Nah, I'm not saying that.
What if he like beats that opponent? Then what does that mean for the Cinco de Mayo?
I don't think that happens.
I know.
I mean, if it happens, we all know that Cotto then is going to be a free agent because this is his last fight. So it'll be a free agent, and he'll be a very hot commodity if he knocked out or beat unanimous decisions versus Gennady Golovkin. Now he has 3-4 middleweight belts.
That has to be brought up, right? And same thing has to be brought up with, like, we're talking about pay-per-view buys. Now there's something new that you probably don't know about because of streaming, right? Now the illegal numbers are starting to get counted in the record label and in the music industry because it still means something. It still means interest. So whether the pay-per-view was 200,000, let's just say, right? But 3 million people streamed it illegally, they're going to find a way to tap into that. It means something for the for the Shivas, for the Hennessy, for all those other brands. You know what I'm saying? So there's still money to be made, whether you're streamed illegally or you're purchased. So let's not take away from the gross number of overall people watching the fight. That's what I wanted to say.
Good point. Especially about the music industry and how they're using illegal streams.
Yeah.
And you know what? You're right, because big box brands, what they would just do, they just invest in internet ads, right? So it doesn't matter because when you get an illegal stream, that shit still comes with ads and a whole bunch of them.
Right. So let's keep that. Let's start factoring how they do illegally as well as legally.
Well, we did in the case of Mayweather and McGregor because they were poached illegally pretty badly.
Yeah, but it didn't affect them. It still gained income. There's other ways to make money now through, just like you said, those banners. You know what I mean?
I get you. Listen, I get you. All right.
Well, it's a fight.
We discussed a couple of different angles and options. I think it's back to fighting. First thoughts. Let's start there. Let's really marinate this one. I mean, first thoughts, I was taken back. Like, I think Casual, you brought it up. That's why I love to have you on the show. You said something how, you were impressed with Canelo's bravado, how he was able to stand up to the boogeyman. And I was like, whoa, he's really gonna like there was even a point in the fight where he edged him on, like, come on, let's do this. And for all the complaining and worrying that people did about Canelo having his back to the ropes, I think he did extremely well off those ropes. I think he deflected and missed or made Gennady miss over 200 punches. That is some underrated defense for real. His lateral movement, that waist movement, that agility, he impressed me. Gennady was the best middleweight that we had seen in a very long time. This kid moves up, finally fights in the normal weight and takes on the biggest, baddest guy. And he didn't do Oscar De La Hoya, Tito Trinidad. Not in my eyes. I know I've seen some narratives out there about running. I didn't see running. But again, I am a Floyd Mayweather fan, right? So, I am a Laura fan, right? I am a Crawford fan. I am a Rigo fan. I am a Loma fan. So I don't know. Maybe you guys are going to say all of those guys run when I think that they just box. And that's what I seen. I did, but those were my first thoughts anyway. I'm not going to go into anything else. What were your first thoughts? I mean, because that was just the first round for me. Like, holy shit, this guy isn't playing. At first, he opened it up kind of circling, but then right away, he stood his ground. And I was just like, okay, this is the fight.
For me, the turning point was when he just sat on the ropes, because that was the big deal that we talked about pre-fight. And when he did that, man, it was just real surprising to me. I'm like, look what he's doing, man. I was worried, you know what I mean? I'm like, he's going to get KO'd. and he was comfortable on the ropes. I mean, it was almost like when he did that and he was able to stay there and take the shots. It was almost like everybody's perspective on Gennady of him being the monster. It was like in that moment it faded away. And for a second it looked like Canelo had a real legitimate chance, in my opinion, because the power and aggression was going to be just too much for this kid moving up for the first time and fighting this monster like this. And that's what was really impressive to me.
For me, was the combination punches from Canelo. He just kept going combination after combination. Like you said, Ness, first round. First round, I was like, whoa, this is not what I saw live. And the combination had Gennady Golovkin on the head nod. So from there on forward, I did.
Yes, what do you mean on the head nod for those that don't understand?
The Brona, the AB. I mean,
remember, this is a visual podcast and an audio podcast.
Floyd Mayweather, you get hit and you nod your head. That didn't affect me. And then you get hit again and like, nah. But I think that works against you with the judges and the crowd now. But, seeing Gennady Golovkin do that, never seeing him do that before, I was excited for Canelo. Like, whoa, what is Canelo doing? Awesome. And I didn't see that live. It was crazy. So seeing it live and then seeing it on television and having a whole new perspective, I kind of understand the judge, what her name is, I don't know how it's pronounced. Adelaide Bird, the way she came off with giving Canelo all the rounds except for 2. So Canelo went to work. That's what I saw. He went to work against a tough, durable, with a reputation, a killer reputation, Gennady Golovkin. And not taking away anything from Gennady saying he didn't go to work. He went to work as well. But Canelo was there willing in exchange. So I was impressed by that.
My first impression first thought when I was watching the fight, or as I was watching it live, was just like the overall package that Canelo was in that fight. Even though in my score I scored against Canelo, I scored for Triple G. That was the best version of Canelo I think we've ever seen, in a way. The way he just put it all together, it was a culmination of years and years of boxing and fighting Mayweather, Lara, Cotto. It was a culmination of all those fights and all the experience, all that data he collected like a human computer. And then we saw it in this fight. The cardio is still an issue, but again, my first impression was, damn, Canelo is legit. Canelo is the complete package. He can do anything. He can fight going forward, going backwards, going side to side, and throwing combination at the same time. He is the complete package.
I have a question. Why are we not saying anything positive about Gennady now? Why are we all impressed about Canelo?
And that leads me to my next little subtopic. Do you think that some people are scoring this for Canelo because they are over impressed? Because we expected Gennady to do what we think he does, which is Terminator, like you said, destruction, knockout, death, right? And then Canelo stood up to him, the guy that most in the public, or there was a narrative in the media that he was afraid, that he was too scared, that he was small, that they sparred and he understood that Gennady could beat him and that Gennady had the upper hand. And this is not what Oscar wanted. And they were, keeping him as far away as possible. And then all of a sudden we seen a Canelo that was brave enough to stand up to this boogeyman. And do you think that those scorecards, like a person like Adelaide Bird, I mean, I can't even make a case for Adelaide Bird. I mean, she's just a person that gave 114 for her versus Canelo and Mayweather. She's just had
that was CJ Ross.
Really? I thought it was her.
No. That was CJ Ross.
I think it was
retired after that.
I think it was for the Sean Porter fight that Kenny had mentioned to us.
Yeah, but you got to remember, judges watch fights and look for specific things. Like one judge might be like, "Yo, I'm a."
Here's the thing with Adelaide Bird. Very quickly, because I don't think you know this, casual. I'm going to teach you something. Adelaide Bird is married to Robert Bird. Robert Bird's the ref, the famous ref who refed Mayweather McGregor, and he's refed for 20, 30, 40 years now. That's the clearest example of nepotism within the Nevada State Athletic Commission, and not corruption, but ineptitude. Them hiring people that are not educated on the sport, that don't know what they're watching. Just because you're married to a ref doesn't mean you know shit.
Yeah, but I think to be a judge, to be a ringside judge officially, you have to have some kind of
you don't have to have training. You don't have to have training.
Have a law background.
A law background? No, you do not.
No, you don't.
No.
But that's what needs to happen. There needs to be at least people that have been in the ring, have some sort of amateur professional record, and even they are going to make mistakes. I've had numerous conversations since this fight about judging and what could be done. And, oh, my God, we need a league. We need a commission. We need one. But, yo, listen, if you look at NFL, that's only in the U.S., man.
Well, look, I bet you one thing.
It's only in the U.S.
I'm gonna bet you one thing, Ness, and I'm gonna ask, and Matt can answer the same question. When you score a round, what do you look for?
Well, in the rule book, it says clean, effective
Yeah,
punching.
it's the same criteria for every judge. But what do you specifically say this person did more than that?
Why would I score?
But they're all doing the same thing.
Why would I score off a criteria that's not in the rules?
No, I'm asking you. So
that's what I score based off the rules.
What do you look for, though?
I score based off the rules.
Right,
I don't know why you need to keep asking the question. I'm answering.
Scored round one against Canelo. What did you score it?
I didn't score against Canelo.
When you watched it on television, you scored it different. In person, I scored with you. I was going with your scorecard, and I was agreeing or disagreeing. So, what did you see? You saw much more aggressive Gennady, yes?
Yes, but that's not what I didn't give Gennady the first round in the live watch or on rewatch. So I don't
know. So doesn't matter first or third or 12th. I'm asking you, what do you pick that says, okay, he won that round?
I was drunk at the fight. That's what that was.
Today, when you watched it today, what did you say?
What did I say? I thought
aggression, clean punching. Which one? The criteria?
No, there's a list of criteria, and the first one's the highest priority, and the last one that list is the lowest priority. That's the rule set. That's the rule set. If you don't know what the rule set is, read the rules, Kaz.
That's not what I'm saying. You're being defensive. I'm asking you specifically. What do you look for? Because people don't use those criteria.
I use those criteria. So look at the rules, because I'm telling you.
Canelo landed 5 clean, hard, effective punches.
There's nothing on the rule set about number of punches.
I gotta jump in here because
that's not
Matt, you're like a little.
Yeah,
I'm answering the question. I don't know why.
I'm not even gonna say the person's name, but you have to understand.
He's Mickey.
I tell all. Yeah, he's fucking Mickey right now. I tell you guys all the time.
That dog's angry.
We cannot all talk at the same time. I know it felt good when we were all in studio, but we're not. So it has to be one at a time because you're just cutting each other off.
Okay.
Because of the software is.
Casual. You were asking me how did I score that fight? Like what do I look for in the fight?
In general, around.
Again,
I know you're gonna say the criterias, but judges say, okay, this person landed harder, and sometimes the ring generalship is overdone by the power punching, the effective punch.
Yes, I agree with what Casual was saying, Matt, and do not lie. Hold on.
I don't think you understand.
Let me finish so that I can piggyback on his thought. Damn, Matt. Matter of fact, you go. I hope I can remember.
Right, he did it by the book, and it was right, and that's all that counts.
No, I'm just saying when you hear a judge or a ref or Harold Letterman or anyone say, well, it's really about who do you want to be in the round. That's bullshit. Like,
but that's not what Casual says. So why are you bringing it up?
Because Casual asked me what I personally do.
So answer
the rules.
I don't go, well, you got to take it from the champ. I don't believe in that bullshit because I go off of the rules because that's what we, the fans.
All right, but why are you reiterating what you said? We understand.
Because he keeps asking it. Because he kept asking me. That's why I keep.
I think you know what it was, man. I think Enrique was trying to find like a method. What's your mythology?
Enrique was clear as hell with what he's saying.
What's the method? Like, what do you look for? Okay, there's rules. 10 people use the same exact rules, but there's different scores. So 3 people in this case use the same exact rules, but we got Miss Bird with 10 to 18. 118.
Well, I'm not gonna try to explain LA Bird, but to explain why we get rounds different, right? When we all are trying to do the same thing, even though we on this panel do not. We do not all do that. I think it's because we see different things. Like literally, it's like a car accident. You can be at different angles of the shit. And you can have 10 eyewitnesses, and they can all be different in an actual law case, right? It's the same thing with the fight. We're all eyewitnesses looking at a high-speed crash between 2 high-level boxers.
What did you see different that you scored it against?
Yo, you have a killer echo. Get your shit together, you fucking fake sound guy. What's up, man?
Who?
Me. I'm echoing.
I'm not a sound guy.
Shh. You're more than that.
You're a mixer guy, so you're the one in control, so you're messing up.
And to answer your question, Enrique, I know I'm gonna reiterate, but that list, I start at the top. Who won that? Okay, let's say it's Canelo. He won that. The next one, who won that? Triple G. Who's the next one? Triple G. Who's the next one? Triple G. If Triple G wins 3 out of the 4 criterias, I'm probably gonna give him the round. Again, that's all dependent on if let's say.
But let's go back to Enrique's point because it makes sense in this argument. He said that a guy could be winning the round based off your criteria, but isn't it possible for a judge to score the round for the guy that's losing because he landed bigger punches?
Yes.
All right.
Because again, some people go along things that are not in the rules. Damage is one of them. Damage technically is not a criteria in boxing rules. It is in MMA, but non-boxing. That needs to be a criteria. Unfortunately, it isn't. Some people may rule it under effective punching. They say damage kind of falls under that. But that's one of those criteria where it's, okay, if I land 100 punches and you land 50, but those 50 are all better than my 100, do I win the round?
Exactly. And that is what is subjective. And it doesn't matter who sits in that seat. It's only going to matter the person that sits in that seat. What do they favor? The same point that Casual was making. It don't matter the judge. It's what they look for in a fight. Because you could get a fight, a judge like yourself that is only looking for that specific criteria and those big punches or quote unquote ring generalship and keeping your guy in the center of the ring. They don't mean shit to them.
Yeah, I never said that there's people that everyone follows the rule set. No, most people don't follow the rule set. Most people go along the lines of you got to take it from the champ, stuff like that. So most people think that way. So I'm not surprised we get even more subjective scorecards because most people are not judging the fight off the same things.
Speaking of scorecards, keeping it simple, how'd you score round 1, Matt?
Round 1 was 10-9 Canelo.
Enrique.
Same thing, 10-9 Canelo.
10-9 Canelo, bro. Same thing.
Round 2, I had a 10-9 Canelo as well. First round. Round 2, I had a 10-9 Canelo.
I had a 10-9 Canelo as well.
All right. All right. All right. So, Gennady Golovkin, though. I was actually really impressed with him. I couldn't believe that like nothing stopped him from coming forward. Nothing. I mean, I seen Canelo land uppercuts. I seen him lead right hands like if he was throwing a baseball. That's how big he was winding him up. And he even hooked with Gennady and landed that left hook quite a few times with Gennady to the body. To the head. I mean, I was, listen, overall, I was more impressed with Canelo than I was with Gennady, but I was really impressed with Gennady because, like, obviously he already showed us what he could do with Lemieux and with Jacobs. But, I mean, those guys didn't throw punches like Canelo. Canelo let his hands go, and a lot of people were saying, oh, listen to the corner, Canelo's corner. There was a lot of, quote unquote, urgency from the corner. That's bullshit. You know what? Go the fuck back to Spanish class, get yourself some sort of thesaurus or hire somebody, Google Translate, something. Bullshit. All they kept saying in that corner was how slow Gennady Golovkin is. And if you don't believe me, friend me on Twitter. I'll send you the Sky Sports link. You can hear it clear as day that, his coach is mic'd up. He's like, and he keeps calling Canelo son. He's like, son, stop staying on the ropes. This dude is slow as hell. Just hit him in combination and move the way you're doing. Like, he's like, look, you got hit with that shot because you wanted to get hit with that shot. You know what I mean? You don't have to be there. Like, there was no urgency. Urgency is like, you got to knock this guy out. Or, run away, get away from him. That's urgency, man. Get your shit together. They was over there. They were fucking happy with Canelo's performance in that corner for sure, without a doubt. But again, back to Triple G. After being in the ring now, which is I'm so happy that I did it because little things went undervalued for me. The way that he can throw that jab nonstop. Like, I know that Canelo made him miss a lot, but he made Canelo work a lot. His work rate was impressive. At one point, though, I did question, damn, are we seeing Triple G get old? But it was because I've never seen him get hit in combination like that. Like Canelo was hitting him to the body with uppercuts, and I'm like, damn, this guy. And sometimes he would throw the 1-2 at Canelo and miss both, and Canelo would turn and pivot away. And I'm like, damn, is he getting old? But in the 11th and the 10th and the 12th, and this guy's still coming nonstop. I said, well, there's no way he's old. He's just slower than Canelo. But I mean, it was just a great fight. You know,
it's his style. It's his
style to what? To get hit?
No, it's his style. Like as far as his speed. You know, that's the pace that he has, and his style demands. You know what I mean? He's just a constant, steady pressure, and since he has power with it too, that all he needs to do is just maintain that same pressure, and eventually he'll break it down.
Well, I mean, very quickly, do we think that it isn't age? That he looks that much slower compared to Canelo? I mean, Triple G is 35, 36 years old. Canelo's in the peak of his prime. Like, you got to think about it that way, right? Like,
But he caught so many people on the ropes with that left hook. I mean, he was making the same faces. I was seeing those shots, and I'm like, damn, this is a still shot. But this time, he's missing. This time, Canelo's rolling with that shit off the glove or coming back, digging to the fucking body. Listen, I don't even know if they want an immediate rematch. I mean, this was a damn good fight. And again, back to your point, Casual, those big punches, you're right. Like, sometimes Gennady is doing work, jab, jab, jab. You know, a lot of pressure. So you're saying to yourself, damn, Canelo's running. Damn, he's making Canelo back up. But then Canelo digs and boom, boom, a big-ass uppercut or a big-ass left hand or a baseball hand, right hand. Yo, that shit sways the round for him. It sways the round.
It looks flashy and fast.
No, it's all about what you look for in a fight. So
exactly.
So that's what I'm trying to tell Matt, but he wants to go by the rule book.
I didn't.
I was impressed by Triple G. I'm gonna tell you something, Matt. I was impressed by Triple G because Canelo's the guy with the more experience than Triple G against the much more name brand fighters with slick styles or slugger styles. You know, he fought the Floyd Mayweather, which everyone always brings up. He's actually looking a little bit like Floyd Mayweather. He's rolling with the punches and he's fighting the boogeyman. And Floyd Mayweather fought boogeymen like Marcus Maidana, you know, power punchers, Marquez, all those guys, Manny Pacquiao, and he rolled with the punches and he hit and did not get hit. And I was seeing a lot of that from Canelo. And I kind of was expecting Canelo to look like Floyd Mayweather for some strange reason. I said, I bet you this is the come out party that Canelo looks the best he has ever had looked. And I would agree that he did look the best he has ever looked against a middleweight. Gennady Golovkin impressed me because he was able to not get knocked down. He proved that he has a chin because Canelo, like you said, was throwing 100-mile-per-hour fastballs, punches in that sense, and landed hooks and landed ripping body shots. And it did not really stop or change the pace of the fight for Gennady Golovkin. So I was impressed in that sense.
Hell yeah. You're right about that. Whatever it was that Canelo landed, no matter how impressive it looked, Gennady just came forward. Maybe he made a face, right? Because he had to, right? He had to react to the punch, you know? But then it was just right back to work. And you know, you heard on the telecast over and over, like, oh, that has to be demoralizing. Like you're giving this guy your biggest shot and he keeps coming forward. Maybe so, or maybe not, because you're still hitting him in combination. Like, yo, Canelo has to know that the next fight he needs to, instead of bulk up, run, right? Do more running or more sparring, because he just needs to throw more punches. Gennady does not punch when being punched.
Exactly.
You're totally right.
I think that Canelo lost rounds by just not throwing. Like, unfortunately, his defense was there. His defense was absolutely there. But for some reason, there was rounds or parts of rounds where he would just be on defense. He wouldn't transition back to offense instantly for a combination to get out of there. He would take 30 seconds off, a minute off. Maybe not whole rounds off, because I think every round was pretty competitive, to be honest. But he was taking parts within the rounds off and not throwing at all and just backing up.
Let's give a little credit to Triple G's pressure, you know what I mean? Because, you know, not necessarily just trying to take off rounds, but when you have that pressure on you like that, constantly round by round, you get tired. You're on your back foot. You're running, and like I said, we're impressed with what Canelo did, but let's not underrate what Triple G is able to do.
I wasn't underrating it.
No,
I
just
think when you
just
take
for the fans
rounds
out there.
off or take portions off, I think that implies tiring. Like you are tired, you want to regain some cardio. But like you said, yeah, good point. That Triple G's pressure, that jab was always in Canelo's face. Canelo was constantly moving because he had to move. That does get tiring after a while.
Yeah, but he avoided a lot of those shots, right? Like we say, oh, he gassed out, but is he really gassing when he's using so much waist movement against the ropes and he's making Triple G miss? Like, I'm gonna switch back to the stats, and I'll say that again since I moved away from the mic. I'm switching back to the stats on YouTube so that you can see for yourself the amount of punches landed and thrown per opponent. And obviously at first glance you think, well, Gennady outworked him. He landed 218 punches, but he threw 700, B. Canelo landed almost 200 at 170 and threw 200 less at 505. He had a higher punch connect. He was more accurate, bro. I don't know. I mean, it's really what you were looking for. But let's get back to the cards, because I know we should have some discrepancies amongst each other coming up now. Third round, I gave it to Canelo, 10-9.
I gave it to Triple G.
I gave it to Triple G as well, 10-9.
Same here. I gave it to Triple G, 10-9.
Yes. Ooh.
Yeah, I just saw. I gave it to Golovkin because Canelo had the round. He looked great throwing combinations, but he took off towards the end. And then this is what I look for in a fight: who lands the bombs? Who changes the pace? And the bombs towards the end of that round were from Gennady Golovkin. And Canelo was just, playing games, pity pat, if you want to say it. I'm not saying that he was throwing soft punches, but they don't equal the same as those power punches.
I slightly gave it to Triple G and a 10-9. I mean, throughout this whole fight, it was very close, but I gave it to him slightly, and it was because the way I kind of judged the fight, in accordance with what the ways are, like Matt said, but like the style, I guess you want to see the method. I do it round by round, minute by minute, and for most of the round, Gennady just landed the better punches, and more punches. I mean, I don't count the punches that land on the gloves. I don't know, Matt, if there's like a rule for that, but you know what I mean? If they count those punches or whatnot, you know what I mean, or if that goes into the aggression or the pace.
Are you talking about in terms of like judges or like CompuBox?
Judges
don't use CompuBox.
It depends if they think it lands or not. I think that because remember they're sitting there live ringside. They don't got a TV. They don't have instant replay, so they're watching it live. If they think it connects, they probably are going to score it like it's a landing shot.
And Alex, you know that punching the glove is a strategy.
Yeah, we know that, but like I said, I just counted for the most Triple G landed, the more clean shots.
Now, if a fighter was punching the gloves, punching the arms, and then you see his opponent lower his arms, and then the fighter starts landing those power punches, and you knew that it was part of the strategy, you would say, "Whoa, he set him up."
Well, that's
what, man. I strongly disagree with that third round. I feel like you guys are all tickling your balls saying he won that round. I'm rewatching it as we speak. Canelo is standing his ground, especially in the first 30 seconds to a minute.
Not the last 45 seconds, though.
All right, my friend, but he's landing right hands big enough to make Gennady not walk forward in that first minute. Lead right hands. Like, it's still 1:52, and they're on top of the Tecate sign because of Canelo. He's right there.
Keep watching the fight. Keep watching that round, though. You'll see.
And very quickly, the idea that, not the idea, I noticed is that Canelo was winning a lot of the early portions of rounds and making Triple G play catch up. He was making Triple G have to work for the next 2 minutes after that first minute to win rounds back.
Look at that right hand at 126, huge right hand. And before it was a left hook to the body. Man, you guys are blind.
I mean, it stops there.
They both land shots. They both land shots.
Like,
both land
shots.
Matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull up the scorecard from the judges. I'm going to see what judges gave that round to Gennady. if there's any judges that also gave it to him.
They probably all did except Bird because you know
Bird obviously gave it to. Come on, man. You're bugging.
gave it to Canelo. But I sort of like the last 45 seconds of that round. Canelo taking off, and he just did not look good, and all that other stuff that he did before that was buried.
You know what it is? People tend to not really. I'm not gonna say not count it, but like the jab. You know, everybody's looking for the hook and the straight right, and count that. But count the jabs, and you'll see the straight punches coming from Triple G in volume.
The straight punch is my arse.
Yeah.
And also, I think Canelo lowered the volume in that round compared to the first 2 rounds. I think Triple G sort of upped the volume as well, and that may have either swayed my opinion, anyone else's opinion, but it seemed like Gennady was busier in there, to be honest.
Adelaide Bird gave it to Canelo.
Oh,
Yo, what up, Bird? How are you doing?
She only gave Golovkin 2 rounds of the whole entire fight.
Dave Moretti did not. Yo, Dave Moretti used whiteout, motherfucker.
What?
Yup, there's whiteout on his shit.
What round?
4. Let me see. 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like 6.
But what does he look like? He changed a 10 to a 9 or what?
I gotta download a PDF and turn it around, bro. I'm sorry. Too much shit. Yo, and a bottle of rum. Let's see what they got, son.
And that's somebody on the chest saying that's Bird. Joe Lopez 40 ounce.
Okay, Dave Moretti whited out 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th round, he whited it out, bro. It's white out, and then it's a 9, and that 9 looks like he wrote on it 10 times.
And very quickly, round 5 was super close. Round 5 to me was the first ring round of the fight.
I'm the only Adelaide Bird on the card, bro, because it looks like the other judge by the name of Don Torella also gave the 3rd to Gennady Golovkin.
Adelaide could have scored this fight 115, 113. No one would have been mad. It still have been a draw. True or not?
No way to know that one.
I think you got some. I think you maybe. I definitely can see it. I can definitely see if every scorecard was super tight and it just ended up being a draw. I don't think you have as much of a vitriolic reaction from the fan base, because when you see a 118, 110 scorecard and it was clearly a very close fight, or a lot of people thought Triple G won, you're going to get a response out of the fan base.
I think Adelaide scores off of activity. I think Canelo had more punch combinations throughout the entire fight, and that's what she looks for, combinations in boxing. And she's
but there's no excuse for that scorecard. Come on.
All right.
I'm saying, what does she look for? Is
round 4 and 5. 4 and 5. I had Canelo for 4. I had Gennady for 5.
I got Canelo for 4, and I got Triple G for 5.
I got Triple G for 4 and Canelo for 5.
Okay.
I have Triple G for 4 and 5.
Look at that. So you see how scoring is subjective. Now, Adelaide Bird, on that hand, she has Triple G for 4 and Canelo for 5. You know? Yeah. And then Moretti has Canelo 9. So he has Gennady for 4, right? And then the other judge has also Gennady. And then on the 5th round, Bird gave it to Canelo. Again, Moretti gave it to Gennady. And the other judge, Torella, gave it to Gennady as well.
That 5th round also saw that huge overhand right from Triple G that landed. That was probably the most significant punch from Triple G, so I'm not surprised.
But according to the way you freaking scored, that doesn't matter.
If you let me finish my thought, maybe I would answer that statement. But I think that, again, he landed a very big shot, but Canelo reacted the right way. He took it and he walked forward.
Man, didn't that surprise you?
Honest, bro. Canelo took every single shot that Gennady had. He made Gennady not look like the monster that he was sold out to be. I'm just keeping it real. He stood his ground. He was allegedly the boy, the kid. He was allegedly the one scared, and vamos dejando de mamadas and all that good shit. He stood his ground. And he asked for a fight like Mexicans do. He edged Gennady on. And Gennady was very fucking timid. Let's just be honest. You know, all the times that Canelo was on the ropes, he could have got more busy. He wasn't as busy on.
It was. I think Canelo's movement had him a little bit confused, off target, man. And that's what I liked about Canelo. His movement kind of threw Triple G off and landing them solid shots where he likes to sit on them and really pound you on the ropes. The movement on the ropes is phenomenal. You know, guys, this whole fight. Go ahead.
So I just want to add something to that point very fast. Every time Triple G would throw that right hand, when Canelo was on the ropes, Canelo was able to slip it and walk away. He was able to escape out and reestablish distance. I think that made Triple G hesitant. Not necessarily the power from Canelo. I don't think he was as worried about that, but he was worried about losing that ground. He was like, if I have Canelo here, I can just jab him and keep him here. I'll win the round. The second I throw that right hand, Canelo's gonna be out. He's gonna reestablish distance and be off the ropes. I think he was more concerned about where the fight was at in terms of winning rounds.
And real quick, I mean, the whole fight was a close fight, but there's 3 rounds in particular where I kind of didn't know where to go. You know what I mean? And that's how close the fight. There's 3 rounds, in my opinion, that could have gone to either or fighter, and you know, it was real tight. It was really tight. Where are we in the 6th round? No.
Yes, we are.
We have not given those scores yet.
Oh. Relax, Doomy.
No, I'm saying that we're off onto the 6th and 7th round.
Ness.
Yes. Well, I was actually texting a promoter that asked me, can I cover something in Texas for him? I feel like a big shot.
Anyways,
it's
round 6.
That's when the soundboard hits off.
It's me, the big shot. No, so we're on round 6 and we got to give scorecards. So let's see where we're at so far. Now we need to go back and put that math together. I obviously have it. Well, we haven't given round 6, so we have it rounds 1 through 5. I have Canelo 4-1.
I have Canelo 3-2.
3-2.
Al.
Doomy Doomsday and Enrique. Cat's got your tongue.
Now we're actually trying to do the math.
Yeah, I have it 3-2. Golovkin.
No, I have it. I have it 3-2 Canelo.
3-2 Canelo.
Yeah.
All right. So far, we're all seeing Canelo winning, regardless of scorecard. We're seeing Canelo winning in the first half. I think we should mix it up and take a phone call. What do you think?
Agreed. So, and then we should get specific right into the 7th round or to one that we already covered. A specific round.
We have to finish our scorecard though.
What do you mean specific?
You say you were gonna get a caller in, so I wanted the caller to chime in on a specific round where we have it a controversial on the panelists.
Oh, so you mean you don't want a caller to go into a round that we haven't gone to yet?
Right.
Like one we disagree on. We want to. Okay, I get you.
So what you're saying? So he's got to talk about the 5th and before.
Yeah, 5th and before, or that 3rd round that you have it. You know the
Canelo. God.
Let's talk about the rounds that we've so far released our scoring to. Let's keep it at that, and then
who's gonna sacrifice their call for 5? We'll go to Monsterpiece. We'll give her 2 calls. How about that?
Because
she's the diva of the crew.
So Ivan Flores donated $5 in the chat. Just wanted to give him a shout out. The house.
Ivan Flores. Thank you. Are you on the line so we can get you on? Dempsey's out there. Dempsey, man, it was a pleasure meeting Dempsey in Vegas. Let's go to Monsterpiece. Monsterpiece, remember, we're trusting you to go to the first 5 rounds, okay? Pedazo de Monster. Okay. We're gonna go to the Monster.
I'm a motherfucking monster.
Hello. What's going on, people?
What's up? What's up?
Yo, where the fuck was my trip to Vegas? Fuck. I hate being the only girl. This shit sucks. Hire another girl, but I don't have to, have a problem going because it's old man.
But there's plenty of women out in Vegas.
A lot of them.
Shut up, but not with the TVB crew.
Well, Abe's wife. El Camino's wife was there, but that's besides the point. Did you score the fight? Because we're looking for someone to score the fight. Did you score the fight?
I did score the fight. I did score the fight.
All right, so rounds one. No. Wait. Slow down, because you're about to give us information we don't want yet. We just want what you had it scored rounds 1 through 5.
I'm gonna give you guys 1 through 5. I gave 1, 2, 3 to Canelo.
Okay.
I gave 4 and 5 to Triple G.
All right, pretty much like everybody else.
Exactly, because it was really clear that during the later rounds, after Canelo started seeing the aggression of and the will of that Triple G was imposing on him, he started to backpedal a little bit more, started throwing less, and started kind of trying to figure out Triple G and how he was going. He was thinking too much in those moments, which is probably why you were hearing his corner telling him, "Dude, he's slow. What the fuck are you doing? Go in." That's probably what you were hearing. He was thinking a little bit too much, and that's because he started to feel that aggression. He's starting to feel that power and that will that was coming at him. And that's a testament to Triple G at his 35-year-old to make a 27-year-old guy kind of think a lot during already in the 4th to 5th round. And honestly, you know what? I'm not discrediting Canelo, and I'm not gonna discredit Triple G. It was a good fight. It was a good fight so far. The first 5 rounds, that's how I scored it. So I gotta say, bring me back later when we're done with the other half.
All right. Pretty much how we feel. The interesting thing about this fight is in quarters. Even though there's a first half and a second half, the fight shifted. You see, I have it first 4 for Canelo, and then we're going to give some of those middle rounds. I'm pretty sure the public is this is where Gennady's, fandom gets strong. In these middle rounds is where he really made a case for this fight. But I feel that there will be another switch on scorecards in the end of this round as well. So that being said, round 6, gentlemen, where do you have it?
Round 6.
Go ahead, man.
Round 6 to me was like round 5 and 7. It was super. To me, that was the peak of the fight. 5 to 7, those rounds were the best rounds of the fight, except for maybe 12 or 11. And it was also the closest. These next 3 rounds are all tight swing rounds, in my opinion. So I'm not upset at anyone's scorecard. But round 6, I gave it Triple G.
Okay, round 6 for me was Triple G. And this is one of those rounds that I was mentioning to you guys earlier that it really had me I didn't know where to put the check mark at, and could have gone to Canelo too, but I gave it to Triple G on my scorecard.
Round 6, I gave it to Triple G. He just landed the hard punches. That was the round. Round 4 is where the head nodding started, and Canelo was consistent with the head nodding. And for me, one of my reasons why I pick against you is like, ooh, that affected you because you're nodding your head. So yeah, I gave round 6 to Triple G.
I can't wait to punch Casual and make him nod his head in sparring, see if that shit is really true then.
Well, if it don't hurt, I won't nod. If it hurts, I'll nod. I won't nod, actually. If it doesn't hurt, I'll nod.
We're going to see. And
that even that takes power.
Then we're going to see if that opinion changed, because I don't think that's an accurate assessment, but that's okay.
But it was a landing. It was punches landed that made that nod.
I hear you, player. I hear you. So call me Ness Bird, because I gave Canelo round 6. I might as well marry Adelaide Bird then. But let me tell you something, though. You guys can laugh at me. You guys could call me biased, but just keep in mind, everyone on this panel said, before they said they gave it to Triple G, they said this round was close. This is the round I wrote down that was so tight. This is my swing round. So just because I don't swing, don't call me no fucking names. That's all I'm saying. But only me and Bird gave it to Canelo. Everyone else, including yourselves and the other 2 judges, also did not give it to Canelo. So Gennady made a strong case in 6. Round 7, Adelaide Bird said, nah, Gennady run to round 7. and so did the other judges, except Don, Mr. Don Trella. He decided to give Canelo round 7. What is your scorecard, Matthew?
I gave Canelo round 7.
Wow.
Again, these rounds were the closest, in my opinion, in the entire fight.
So the Canelo lover and Adelaide Bird did not. The consistent judge in Moretti did not. And the guy I never heard of, Don, he did. And Matt did.
Yes.
And Enrique?
I gave it to Gennady round 7. Again, these were close rounds, and Matt could nod his head all he wants because I was actually with him, scoring with him like, yeah, you know what? I agree with you, Matt. So laugh all you want. But I think that they were really close rounds, but for some reason, Gennady landed the harder punches. So that's something that I look for, the harder, effective punch.
All right. So, Alex, where are you at with round 7?
7 to me was Triple G, man. I gave it to Triple G.
Look, why is Matt laughing at everybody that says
I'm not laughing at anyone. You guys are misinterpreting my laughs. I was originally laughing at Enrique because I thought Enrique I thought Enrique thought Canelo won this fight. He scored it for Canelo. But a bunch of these rounds he's picking for Triple G. So I'm just like, where are these Canelo rounds that he's going to give him? I'm just curious about that.
They're coming. They're coming because I also gave round 7 to Triple G.
Thank you.
I'm not laughing at that at all.
No, I'm not. I just want people to see, like, scoring is subjective, man. I'm telling you, I had so many people since this fight calling me, blowing up my phone. Oh, it's a robbery. Then you need to do something. This sport needs to do something. They need a league. They need a commission. It's not, but it's needs
to be tested and indicted right now.
Until someone can come up with a scoring system that is gonna be without a human being, it will always be subjective. It will always be, especially for a judge. Think about a judge, how many fucking fights he saw. You don't think he's got a fucking favorite? You don't think he likes something or a certain style, man? Smack yourself if you don't. Fucking smack yourself if you don't. Round 8, Adelaide Bird gave it 10 for Canelo. The rest of the judges did not. Round 8, I gave it to Gennady Golovkin.
I did as well.
I gave it to Canelo 8th round, and that was one of those rounds where it could have flew back, back to Triple G. But I looked closely, and what I thought it was Canelo. He landed the better punches.
Call you Alexander Bird. You married her too.
Wingo.
No, because that's how you got to feel. Anytime the general public gave Gennady a round and you gave it to Canelo, you're fucking Adelaide Bird. You're blind. You don't know shit about boxing. You're Stevie Wonder. You're all this fucking names. You know what I'm saying? But it's subjective. Who'd you give it to, Enrique?
I gave it to Gennady Golovkin.
All right. We got to fight. It's time to go to round 8, ladies and gentlemen. Did we just do round 8 or that was?
We just did round 8.
We did?
Yeah.
9th now.
Yeah, I gave it to Gennady round 8. Round 9, Adelaide Bird gave it to Canelito. And Moretti gave it to Gennady, and so did Don Trell give it to Gennady, and I gave it to Gennady.
So did I.
I gave it to Gennady 9th round. I did.
Go ahead. Enrique Bird, he married her. Everybody.
Yeah, now is when I slept with Bird. I slept with Bird. I must admit, I took it to the room. I slept with Bird.
Oh man, how'd you see round 9 for Canelo? You Adelaide Bird, you Stevie Wonder. You don't know nothing about boxing.
Triple G shook his head more. Come on.
And you make first to say you don't know shit about boxing. See how it feels? This is all I'm telling you guys. It's subjective. You need to stop shaming your friends out there if they didn't pick it the way you picked it, or they didn't see it the way you saw it, because it's always subjective. We all got it different. That was round 9. Here is where I feel the switch or the sway may begin for some. Round 10, Adelaide Bird, seen it for Canelo. Carl Moretti, seen it for Canelo. And Don Torella, seen it for Canelo. Enrique Casual Fan Church, how did you see round 10?
Enrique Casual Fan Church saw it for Canelo.
Oh, general consensus. Matt, how'd you see it?
I don't know if you call me Bird, but you gotta call me something else because I gave it a triple G.
Ooh!
But to me, this was another one of those swing rounds. This was a swing round.
Matty,
in its entirety.
this is the last round that I thought could have gone either way, and I'm right there with you, bro. I look, you look at my fucking card, it's scribbled Canelo, scribbled Triple G, scribbled Canelo.
Who'd you scribble on the last time?
So the last scribble was Triple G.
Oh my God. All of you should be ashamed of yourself. Everyone gave this round to Canelo, but I also gave it to Triple G. I also gave it to Triple G. That's right.
OMG.
That's right. You see, scoring is subjective. So stop with the shaming and all the fucking troll chatting and stupidness. Just come to the Boxing Voice and learn how to score a fight. Don't stand for any other cheap imitations out there. Round 11, Adelaide Bird gave it to Canelito. But let's just be fair that, you know, it's only 1 or 2 rounds that differentiate her card from your card. And I mean everyone's card, okay? But round 11, she gave it to Canelito, and Moretti gave it to Canelito, and so did Torella. Who'd you give it to?
I gave it to Triple G.
Let me get the soundbite.
And I thought that was kind of a clear round, to be honest.
Oh,
Maybe
really?
I need to go back and watch that because I didn't think that was a swing round. I thought that
in the general consensus.
That's fine. That happens. I definitely need to watch that round again.
Now, in the 11th round, Triple G too, man. I gave it.
Oh, yes.
What?
Shout out to Doomsday.
Enrique, save the day.
Yes, man. I gave it to Canelo.
Oh, ¿a quién le van? I think aquí está su gallo. At least I'm down with the casual fan. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing because Cash, usually they call you Cash because you don't get it right because you're like a casual fan and they're trying to say it's like a spinoff you don't know. But I'm going to say you know because I gave it to Canelo for round 11.
Casualness.
Hate on me. You can hate me now, but I won't stop now. Unfortunately for you, all the other judges seen it the way Casualness and Casual Enrique seen it. I guess we're all just a bunch of casuals.
Sure.
Round 12. The 10th. I was going to say the 10th. I guess not. No, the 12th championship round. No, the 12th and final round for all the marbles. Adelaide Bird said, fuck that. I've been giving them all to Canelo. We're going to make it a Canelo party. She gave it to Canelo again. And Moretti gave it to Canelo. And so did Don Trella. So what did you give it to? Doomsday, the amateur Lainez who shared the ring himself. Are you going to be the final vote to ensure the nail on the coffin that Gennady does get robbed, or did you score it for Canelito like the rest?
I scored it for Canelito, man.
Uh-oh. So you have Canelo winning the fight.
I scored it for Canelito. If I'm looking at
your scribble,
my scribble, right? Because it's hard to look at. 1, 2, 3.
Sounds like it's
4.
Canelo 115, 113 to me.
5. No, it's actually I only gave Canelo 5 rounds out of the whole fight.
What?
Yeah, I got Canelo first round, Canelo second round, Canelo 4th round. I have Canelo 8th round, and I have Canelo 12th round.
You gave 10th and 11th to Gennady.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. You see, and people could argue with you because a lot of the world thought Canelo won the last 3. You know.
I mean, to me, it was more like just because you flurry off one time in that round and make an impressive look, impressive look in the judge's eye, it doesn't mean you won the round. You know what I mean? Whereas I saw more of Triple G constantly applying those jab punches throughout those whole 3 minutes. You saw Canelo just rally up for like a good 4-5 punch combination, and then you would just see him keep running and keep playing that role, of just dodging punches and not throwing enough. Look, listen, this fight was tight and it could have gone either way, and it could have gone to Canelo, and it could have solidified him with his fans if he would have just threw more punches. I mean, he had it. He had the movement. He had the feints. He had everything.
Let me go to the next guys. Your last round, Matt.
I gave it to Canelo, but along the lines of what Alex just said, I thought this was another swing round. I thought Canelo flurried in that first 45 seconds, maybe a minute. he was going at it, and then he stopped because he threw a lot of punches, and then Triple G, I thought, sort of won the next minute and a half. Again, I think that I gave it to Canelo in that last round, but I have it 115, 113 for Triple G. I counted 5 swing rounds in my scorecard. 5 rounds, I went back and I was like, that round could have gone back the other way. That round could have gone back the other way. So it's entirely possible that if I rewatch that again, I think Canelo wins it. So definitely not robbery, and definitely just a fantastic fight.
Definitely fantastic. Casual fan Enrique Church live in the building.
Exactly.
All in the Swagoo, Shiva's Regal VIP Lounge. All the bars was fucking, yo, you ain't even had to pay for drinks, Casual.
Open bar. Drinks brought to us. Waters brought to us.
Little hors d'oeuvres.
Hors d'oeuvres.
Other couches to sit on.
Couches to sit on, phones to charge because we on the phone all day. You know,
yeah, that little VIP lounge, man, they set the standard too high.
Yeah, that was fun. I will not lie.
That's why we had to go back and rewatch this one because we were too much in the moment. That
monitors everywhere though, so we kind of
have monitors everywhere. But I still had to come back and watch that.
Right? Yeah, of course, me too. And it was different, a different cut than the monitors because I was paying attention the first 4 rounds, and I saw a totally different fight today on the television. So then the VIP section. Last round, I started like Doomsday said. It started off being a Canelo fight round. Rather, Canelo was getting busy. He was the busier one. He knew he did not want to lose that round, but Gennady Golovkin took over the second half of it. I scored for Gennady Golovkin.
And your total scorecard was for who?
My total scorecards, I have it 7-5, Gennady Golovkin.
Oh,
wow! Oh.
What?
I thought you scored it for Canelo.
I know.
I'm sorry. Hold, let me add this up again on my phone.
What the hell?
My fault.
Yo, Adelaide Bird, Enrique Bird.
7, yeah. I had a 7-5 Golovkin. Just counted my score.
Yeah, count those head bobs, you know.
7-5 Golovkin. That was impressive to hear at the end of everything, right? So whoever sat through this podcast, they probably was cursing Enrique out because he was saying, yeah, you know, the head bombs and yo, Canelo was looking good with the movement. They wasn't expecting you to say that you thought Gennady won. Neither was I. I scored it for Canelo in the 12th round, and I ended up with a 115-113 Canelo scorecard. It was a great fight. And I would love to see it again.
Yeah.
You know, I understand big business, and this is what that was. I think we need to wait to see what the pay-per-view numbers do. And then we will know if there is going to be a rematch. And if there is, I would like Cinco de Mayo. Actually, I'm going down the final thought route. Let me wait for that. Yeah, so whatever. Yeah, I had Canelo winning 115-113. I gave him round 12. We should open up the lines now, right?
Yeah,
they're round 12, right? So we're gonna open up these lines. I was actually doing final thoughts. I was not even gonna go to you guys. How about that?
Let's do a final thought real quick.
Huh?
Let's do the final thought.
And not take phone calls, Enrique?
Take the phone call. Make it easy.
Oh, you want to do your final thought and jump out, huh?
Yo, great fight, man. I enjoyed the shit out of this fight and the environment, everything of that had to do with the fight. I mean, there were parades for both sides.
Yes,
for
right
both
in front of our beer house live fight party, the Canelo Alvarez band and mariachi and parade went by, but before they came, the Gennady Golovkin, the country seemed like came with him, bro. Kazakhstan had, they were out in full force. 2 Kazakhstanians actually won tickets to the Canelo Alvarez fight and were chilling in VIP with us because we were able to give away a couple of Gennady Golovkin tickets and Gennady Golovkin hats and Gennady Golovkin and Canelo Alvarez tickets, VIP tickets and hats and scarves and all type of shit, man. I actually got a signed glove to give one of my patrons as well, Triple G glove. We're going to go out to the phone lines and obviously to the sponsors.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Remember that number 1-425-569-5241. We're taking calls right now, ladies and gentlemen. If you're in queue, just press 1 time. Get ready to voice your opinion here on the Voice of the People hotline. International callers can add Nestor Gibbs on Skype. That's NESTORGIBBS. We're going to go back out to Monster Piece. We're giving everyone 45 seconds. This is a spontaneous show. It's Monday. We're giving 45 seconds. Monster Piece. Go.
I'm a motherfucking monster.
I don't even see her anymore. Somebody help me. Help.
I see her. I see her.
Disrespect for 45 minutes, motherfucker. Listen, 45 seconds, I mean, motherfucker. What the fuck, man? I gave Canelo in those later rounds, second half of the fight, I gave Canelo the 10th round, I gave him the 12th round. Good. There's no discussion. That's how I saw it. Sue me. Anybody want to come at me? Come at me. I don't care.
So how many total rounds?
113 Triple G.
So total rounds you saw what? 7-5?
I saw it 7-5.
For who? Canelo?
7-5 to Triple G.
Oh,
no,
Triple G. Okay.
Yeah, 115 was my card. 115 was my card. The night of the fight, 115 was my card. The morning of the fight, it was still the same. It didn't change. I still feel like Triple G was doing 3 out of the 4 criteria that you needed to do to win a fight. Maybe I was looking at
all right,
it
sweet. Look, I don't want to hit you with the cut it, but you know that's your 45, actually, 1:03. We're going to go to the next caller. Remember, 45 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. We have, excuse me?
We have a ringer.
And who was that?
KM Star.
Well, go to him.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey guys, hold on, let me take you off speak. Yeah, so this is a great call. I had it 116, 112. Masterpiece made all the points that I would make, actually. All the real scoring criteria for me put the fight in Golovkin's hands. The first, 5 rounds were the hardest ones for me to score, the first couple of rounds. But more often than not, I picked Golovkin because he was more consistent with his work. You guys actually surprised me because you guys all unanimously, I think I heard you say, gave all the last 3 rounds to Canelo. And I think that's where we're being misled, right? That really weird scorecard is the red herring. That's putting us in a position where we talk about that card and we don't talk about the other 2 cards. Think about that. Look at the other 2 cards and how likely is it, in my mind, it wasn't likely that both those guys had a sweep for Canelo at the end of the fight. That was where the fight was stolen. That's what you guys should be talking about. All the other rounds, close or not, I think that how could they be off everywhere else and then be the same at the end? Think about that based on what they individually saw. That's my call right there.
KM Star, thank you for keeping it to the time limit. We're going to get on out to the city of Ohio.
If you know like I know, you should lie low. I used to get it in Ohio.
Yeah, man. Man, ain't no way in the world. I'm really disappointed, man, in just listening to y'all, man. Y'all really got me disappointed, man. You're trying to excuse this Adelaide Bird situation by critiquing each round by round. There's no way you're going to say it was 10-2. So all the critiquing in the world is not going to explain the 10-2. So I'm disappointed at the angle you're taking. And plus,
J-Will,
this fight, and you always say, you're trying to say everything's objective, this, that, and the third. But, I mean, another fight, you brought up the Canelo Mayweather, it was a draw, and, you could barely get Canelo 2 or 3 rounds. Then, I mean, the Lara fight, there was a 117-111 card. So you say Canelo won by 6 rounds against Lara when a lot of people say Lara won. I mean, it's a lot of just crazy cards that happen, and it always happened to happen when Canelo's fighting. So you can choose to ignore it, but these are just facts, man.
Well, you could choose to say that it only happens when Canelo fights, but that just will not be a fact, right? So, I don't know.
Very quickly, us saying that this fight was very subjective and scoring on its own is very subjective. I think doesn't excuse a 10-8 score or 10-2 scorecard. It excuses us saying that's not robbery. Like, because this fight wasn't that based off of the scoring system and the subjectiveness of it. I think that's the argument I think we as a greater whole are trying to make. Bringing up Adelaide Bird is just a punchline, let's be honest.
And how could you not bring her up when her card is the middle of the controversy?
I mean, Jay Will, do you want us to go on a Teddy Atlas rant about the corruption of boxing? Because I don't think it's corruption. I think it's just incompetence. Again, she got the job because she's married to a ref, not because she went through a training system, not because she met the requirements of the job. She got it because she's married to a ref. That's what I have an issue with. You can say that's corruption, but I don't think we have Oscar De La Hoya in the back giving money out to refs and judges. If you think that, we
just need facts. If you think that, it's all good to have theories, but we need to see it. I understand that controversial scorecards can obviously give off that impression, but as fans, we're sitting here with no facts. We just have to go based off what we see, and what we see is that everyone individually gives different people different rounds. It's just obvious. But we're going to keep the phone lines. Remember, you got 45 seconds. We're going to Anthony in Cincinnati.
Hold on, Anthony. I'm sorry. We have another ringer. Jose, Mr. Bobby Aram out of Canada.
Himself.
Boys, what's going on, guys? First of all, speaking of facts, Matt, you don't know shit because you don't know for a fact that the ref or the judge only got that job because her husband's a ref. It could be the opposite. It could be he gets those ref jobs because she's a judge, man. So you're truly speaking of more. Just keeping it real. And then after I have to say that I honestly thought that Canelo won that fight. He won it easy. Like, I texted Nestor in the fight. I had him up. Like, after the first 5 rounds, I had him up 5-0. So I saw it like, an 8-4, 9-3 type of fight, man. If that means I don't know shit about boxing, then that means I don't know it. But I don't believe in having to rewatch a fight 3, 4, 5 times until you convince yourself of the score you want everyone else to agree with you with. So you saw it one time. The first time is the time you gotta, you just gotta be okay with what you saw, right? Otherwise, you're just playing mind games and you're just tricking yourself. So.
Yeah, I don't believe in that approach.
He's a beast.
I don't believe in that approach, and that is your 45 seconds, though. Because the thing is, especially for you, Jose, you should reconsider that. You go to a lot of live fights, and being there live, a lot of things come into play. A girl with a fat ass, a guy having a fight, someone dropped a drink, they spilled the drink on you, someone stepped on you, you went to get a hot dog, you had to pee. Don't give me that bull crap. It's different. And let alone the cheers and the oohs and the ahs.
You're sort of looking at it through the eyes of a fan at that point. No, you got to go back and you got to do the right thing and use the rules that Matt mentioned earlier. And you get to see everything that you might have not seen with all the hustle and bustle around.
Listen, even the judges, Doomsday, don't have it as good as us. To watch it on TV, you get to see things you cannot see. You can't see Canelo turning with those right hands live. You think he got hit, and you think that was his head spinning that way, and in fact, it wasn't. We got a quick super chat from Ivan. He says it all depends if you like pressure. GGG 1. If you like all-around boxing skill, Canelo 175 Canelo. And damn, I can't disagree with that because I like what he did. I guess at the end of the day, Matt, I scored defense. I know you wanted to say something after you. We'll get to the next caller.
I just think that scoring it 8-4 for Canelo doesn't mean you don't know shit about boxing, but it may mean that you're biased. It may mean that you are a Canelo fan and you go into a fight looking for confirmation bias, looking for things that he is doing, not looking for things that Triple G is doing. That could be more of the factor there than you don't know shit about boxing. Jose watches boxing all the time. He thinks that because he's a fan of Canelo. He's admitted that numerous times that he is a fan of Canelo. So when you're a fan of someone, you're always going to view them in the more positive light than their opponent. Always. And in tight, close rounds, you're always going to give it to the guy you're a fan of. So it doesn't mean you don't know shit about it, but it means you're biased.
All right. Wow. We have so many callers here. We have to get to Anthony in Cincinnati. You got 45 seconds. Go.
All right, man, I have to agree with what Matt just said. I mean, I watched it on the big screen in the movie theater, IMAX, and
looked at it as subjectively as I possibly could, because I like both fighters, but Triple G definitely won. I mean, 7-5, 8-4 if you want to be maybe a little biased, but it's an argument for both. But let's be honest, we all knew it was going to be something controversial if it went to decision, and we got exactly that. We set us up for the rematch. They both looked tentative. They both didn't exactly fight their typical fight, and this is what we got. So we just got to wait for the rematch on May 5th.
Well, all right, Anthony, thanks for calling in. We're going out to Chicago Zone.
I'm back.
45 seconds, go.
Yo, what's up, man? When I called last week, I said it. I say every time Canelo fight, fishy scorecards, you know. But when I first watched the fight, I scored it for Triple G. I really didn't score it. I was just watching as a fan. Then I watched it today, and I scored it a draw. It was a close fight. I really underestimated Canelo's defense. I mean, this is the best I've seen him look, actually, where he was slipping and punches and stuff like that. I felt like only problem is he needs to learn how to control range. I felt like he was like circling the ring for no reason. I don't know if he was gassed or what. I felt like he could make Triple G miss just by standing in the middle of the ring. I felt like he was doing better work then, you know. And I would like a rematch. But yeah, I figured it was a draw. I think it was a draw, and it was a good fight, close fight.
Well, all right, Santana, thanks for calling in. We're going out to Skype. First time caller, my friend. Where you calling from? Whoa, whoa, whoa! You gotta put the microphone. I don't know. Put yourself off speaker or something.
Can you hear me better now, or is it all right?
Oh, perfect. Now, where you calling from? First time caller?
No, I'm not a first time caller. I don't know if my Skype name changed. It's Joey from NZ.
Yeah, definitely changed. Joy, it's not Joy from New Zealand, is it?
Yeah, it is, man.
Yeah, it definitely changed. It says something else.
Oh,
but,
my bad.
What's up, Joey? 45 seconds, go.
Yeah. I just want to say my biggest issue with this fight is not their result. It's actually the inconsistency with the judging in Nevada. I was just thinking, like, if you look at the way they scored Canelo's fight against Lara, they scored a win for Canelo because of his activity, and now they score a draw for Canelo not because of his activity, but in fact the reverse. I just think it's really weird that they would score in the total opposite direction just so that Canelo can actually come out of the fight with, well, not necessarily a win, but come out of the fight with his reputation intact, I suppose. I find that very, very peculiar. Yeah, that's all. Cheers, guys.
All right, Joey, thanks for calling in. What's up, Matt?
I want to make a quick point. We've had Andre Ward, Surikovlev 1. We've had Thurman Garcia. We've had a ton of fights that are at the highest level that go decision, that are tight, the scorecards are controversial. It's not a Canelo issue. It's a boxing issue. It's a judging issue. It's a reffing issue. It's an officiating issue. It's a state commission issue. So it's those things. It's not necessarily like it's not a big conspiracy for Canelo. It's not that. I think the simplest answer is often the most correct one. The simplest answer is these guys suck at their job over there because they aren't required to meet any standards. There's no oversight for the judges. If you score a bad card, you don't get Bob Bennett in the back going, you might lose your job because of this. We're going to sit down on Monday. We're going to watch this fight again, and you have to explain to me why you scored it for this person with this many rounds. Because that doesn't make sense. We don't get that.
But
no, we could.
If you sat someone down in the room, it'll be the same thing Casual said.
No.
I can show you reasons why he scored it that way because it's what he's looking for.
And I was going to interject and say, all right, so is it is it called corruption, or is it just that your scorecard doesn't match theirs? Like, what is it?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, I understand saying, yo, 118, 110, that's not fair, because I saw Canelo do less than 10 rounds winning. That's not fair. Yeah, I just think that person has reasons why. Like you said, put him in the room. He'll point out why he chose it.
Yeah. We're going to go down the line.
Time out. I think that's incorrect. I think there are clear instances of fights where a guy clearly won or clearly should have got the decision, and it goes the other way. And again, the idea that anyone else in an actual job in life, when they fuck up, when they do a bad job, when their customers question their employee, the boss is going to sit them down and ask them what's going on. You
Look,
don't get that with judging. You don't get that with judging, and that's
fine,
not
but
fair.
That's certain jobs that have specific guidelines. These have no specific guidelines. It's like artwork.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. There are specific guidelines. There
There's
are
artwork on walls that cost $1 million that you look at it and be like, that looks like shit. You know what I'm saying? But somebody paid $1 million for it.
But there are rules. There are rules. There's not rules for art. There's rules for boxing. So I don't know if that's a shitty comparison.
Nah, it's not a shitty comparison because that means that you may like something and he may not like it. So what you like, you follow the rule on liking and you follow the rule of disliking. And it doesn't matter which way it goes. You are the official judge and what you say goes. Bottom line, period.
But there should be oversight when you do a shitty job, period.
Like Ness mentioned earlier, man, this stuff is always going to be subjective. It's being done by people and people are not perfect. And, if anything's going to change, something that doesn't lie is numbers. And until you have some type of technology where the judges, are able to see everything from like an aerial view or the view that we have as viewers at home, I don't see how that's going to work because, the way they're positioned around the ring and the way the fight is paced at different angles of the ring, it's just, there's always going to be subjection. Just like Ness mentioned, Canelo really likes to turn his head off of punches that are coming at him. And if you're looking at it from behind, you're going to really think that he got hit. So, like I said, it's going to be some type of technology or something that they're going to have.
Perfect point.
So
did you see a different fight today that you saw?
I want to ask you Saturday. I did see that. I also had a ton of less vodka in me, so maybe that was a different. And we were all drinking over bar. So hold on, let me ask you both a question here. Okay. I forgot it because you interrupted me, Enrique, but it doesn't matter. I just think the idea that because the system we have now is subjective doesn't mean we should sit here and take it. Doesn't mean we shouldn't try to mitigate some of these really bad decisions. Doesn't mean we should try to clean up some of the bad judges in here. And when I mean bad, I don't mean that they get paid. I mean that they just don't know what they're watching. They got a job there because they know the lawyer who works on the commission council. That's how all these jobs are appointed by the government. And the government is filled with bureaucracy and bullshit and people that are in there because of nepotism.
She should be indicted.
It's not that.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a way to appeal decisions and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure there is, right?
It's never happened though.
But what I'm saying is that, appealing a draw at this point, you know what I'm saying? It's not like somebody.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying appealing. I'm saying you sit that judge down and you see if she knows what she's doing. She's following the criteria that's set in the rule books that she is contractually obligated to fulfill.
Was there any whiteout? Was there any whiteout on her card, Ness?
No.
Mm.
No. Let's get to some callers because we're going to have to wrap this up pretty soon. We got a shitty shit load. We're going out to Canada. T from Toronto. It's been a long time. 45. Go.
What's going on, fellas? It's T. I scored the fight for Canelo. I had him 7 rounds to 4 with 1 round even. That's how I scored the fight. 5 and 6 with those 2 rounds that were flippy floppy for the most part. But if you look at the judges' scorecards, even 1, 2, and 10, 11, and 12 are 100% across the board, and those are the only rounds that are 100% between all 3 of them. You got to respect those 5 rounds 100% for Canelo. I think, yes, it can be subjective, but if all 3 judges are scoring at the same, and those are the only 3, or those are only 5 rounds that all 3 judges are scoring, then it's hard to dispute those. But I got it 7-4 with 1 round even. Canelo comes out on top.
All right, T. Thanks for calling.
We got another ringer, by the way.
Who?
We got another ringer, Info Joe.
Mr. Info Joe.
Tell them the truth, yo! Tell them the truth!
This portion of the show we call
In the Know, presented by my
Hey, first off, I want to say shout out to the boxing guys. This was one of the most entertaining fights this year, and we need to give them a round of applause if you can do that for me, Ness. Regardless of who you thought who won the fight, it was entertaining to me as a boxing fan. I watched the fight with Fern. He had a fight party, and also Santiago. Shout out to Fern with all the good food, drinking, barbecue. But I scored the fight. I was picking Canelo. I was the only guy there picking Canelo, and I scored the fight 7-5 for Triple G. What won me to fight for Triple G? He was the most consistent, and he was the most relentless. But I was more impressed with Canelo. His punch selection with his combination. He did the same pull counter uppercut that Charlo did to J-Rock. I was very impressed with Canelo, more impressed with Canelo, but I thought Triple G had won the fight. There's two things that I've never seen this weekend in boxing, is a kid punch a guy in the weigh-in in the nuts, and a Canelo jumping off the scale, and a few seconds later, they're announcing how much he weighed. That's my call. Peace.
Yo, that was a controversy brought up by Ken Porter, right? The jumping off the scale.
Yeah.
Before that, though, Ivan Flores again, $5. You can't make one criteria because fighters have different styles.
That's right. Let's get out to Larry, San Francisco.
Hey, thanks for coming back for a third or fourth time, fellas. And sorry, it's only 45 seconds. Hey, but real quick, 118 to 110 is a plausible score unless there's no way Canelo won 4, 5, 8, 9. If he definitely did not win those rounds, then yeah, the score is ridiculous. But if there's a way to score those rounds for him, and I was trying to listen to y'all to see if somebody scored one of those rounds for him, that's how you get there. I think the card was not right. I think it was a whack card. But I would rather a judge what they thought they saw rather than be scared to judge what they thought they saw and try to make close fights close so their scores don't look bad or far away from the other judges. So if he's incompetent, get rid of her. But if there's a way Canelo won 4, 5, 8, and 9, you got to give that card some credence. And I'm out.
Well, all right, Larry, thanks for calling in. Gary, 45 seconds, go.
Yo, yeah, I had an 8-4 for Canelo. 10-2 is a reach. I mean, you kind of have to want to score 10-2, but I think you could get there. I gave the first 3 and the last 3 to Canelo, and I thought that was pretty easy, meaning that you'd have to give every other round to Golovkin just to get him to draw. But then I heard you guys score some of the first 3 rounds and the last 3 for Golovkin, so that kind of threw me off. I also want to talk about Moretti's scorecard. He scored rounds 3 through 9, every single round for Golovkin. And he's had so many bad scorecards in the past. And he gets a bot. He gets totally overlooked. He had 119 to 109 Canelo over Cotto in the past. He had Pacquiao and Vargas a 1-point fight. He's had so many bad scorecards in the past.
Gary, that's your 45, but I'll piggyback off that and tell you that Moretti's the one that had whiteout on his card. 316-990. 316-990. First time caller.
Ness, real quick. You got to shout out VA House or Horse. Keep up the good work, guys. Matt, Casual. He just donated $10 in the chat.
You're the man, VA Hoss. We're going to go out to this first time caller. First time caller, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this intro. You hear that. You get and tell us your name, where you're calling from, and get into your call.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
This is Keith Tucker from Wichita, Kansas.
Keith, go for it. 45 seconds.
All right, guys. Hey, love the show. Been listening for about 6 months. What can I say? This was an amazing fight. The people that are crying robbery, it's kind of ridiculous when you think about it. I think that Canelo's defense is really underrated. He was making Triple G miss and whiff an awful lot, even with his back on the ropes. In fact, at one point beckoning him in and asking for more, which I thought was really, I kind of laughed at that. But so I think that the effective punching is the same as doing more damage. I think part of the criteria of judging that should be taken into account. I also think that the scoring defense is the same thing as not scoring punches that don't land. When Triple G is pushing the action, pressing forward and coming forward, but, a lot of what he's throwing isn't really hitting. I don't really judge that.
Keith, hate to cut you off, but that is your 45. I mean, go. And I'm actually giving everybody longer than 45.
Yo, very quickly, this fight reminded me a lot of my dominant at the first fight. Whenever Canelo was in the center of the ring, he controlled the fight. Canelo gave up ground whenever he leaned up against the ropes. He was rolling a lot of those punches. So, I mean, Triple G was very flat-footed. He fought well. But the whole fight, him coming forward, he fought like the challenger. He did not fight like the champion. Canelo was the one that fought evasive like the champion. And I think a lot of times he relied on rolling off the ropes because he was a little bit gassed. I don't think he was comfortable carrying around that level of weight. Muscle burns more energy than fat. So he's going to have to think about his condition, nutrition for the second fight. I think I had it 115. I thought it was a great fight again.
I mean, hate to cut you, but you went past that 1 minute. You got 1 minute and 3 because you're a long-time caller. We're going to K Little Rock. 501. K Little Rock.
Little Rock City.
Dropping the ball. All right, we're going to move it on then. 573, first-time caller. 573-289. 573-289, first-time caller.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go ahead and play this first-time caller intro. You say your name, where you're calling from, get into your call.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Hello?
Yes, sir. What's your name?
Hello? Yeah, my name's Scott.
Scott, where are you calling from?
Hello?
Who the fuck is that
I call from Missouri, man. Hey, I got Canelo winning 7-5. A lot of people forget the art of the sweet science. Hello?
Yep.
Yeah. I got Canelo winning 7-5. I believe he won the first 2 rounds, took over from 10, 11, and 12. He might have stepped back and fell off, but he was rolling, catching a lot of punches on the road. People tend to not see when punches do not connect. They forget the art of the sweet science. They did not adjust. These are 2 fighters that are supposed to be at the top of their game. They look like 2 B-level fighters that could not adjust, take over, and dominate this fight. When you talk about elite and A-level fighters, you talking Floyd Mayweather, you talking Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson, Roy Jones, Pernell Whitaker at the top of their game. Fighters that could adjust, make foot movements, adjust, use a high guard. Shoulder roll and Philly roll is 2 different things. People need to catch up with the art of the sweet science. Y'all are missing it. Canelo connected on combinations and rope punches. Triple G is supposed to be this big killer. Everybody talked about. He's fighting small guys who took apart. Just turned pro at 27. He's 35 now. Where has he been at? He is not able to.
Scott, you're going to have to call back in. You went way past the limit. Antonio in Albany, go.
You're right. You don't understand. You can't do all that shit in 45 seconds. Get your point across.
You're wasting your 45 seconds. Antonio.
That's what he said.
All right. Iron Sal. 45, go.
Yo, what's good, fellas? I'll make it real quick. I had Triple G winning. I wasn't really going for somebody in the fight because I just wanted to enjoy it. I didn't want to feel like I had a lean towards one person more than the other. But I will say real quick, I was in a house full of Mexicans, being Mexican myself, a lot of Canelo fans, and not one of them thought Canelo won. And not one of as far as what I've seen on my side of the couch, Canelo in that stadium. So that's how I see it, fellas. Man, I'm gonna catch up with you guys later on. You guys keep pushing.
Y'all probably scored just like Matt.
Well, all right, Sal. Thanks for calling in. We're going to have to Dr. Mofongo talk to us.
What's up, fellas?
What's
I had
up?
This not a close fight, not a close fight at all, guys. In my eyes, I gave 2, 3, 12, and maybe 10 with the benefit of the doubt to Canelo. Consistent jab, constant pressure. There were rounds where both guys landed shots. You guys are talking about scoring criteria. So if clean, effective punching is somewhat even, you go down the line. Effective aggression, ring generalship. You have one guy on his bike, gassed out, constantly backpedaling on those ropes. Every one of those rounds went to Golovkin. 117, 111 was my card. Peace.
Damn, Adelaide Bird for sure. Young Smack, Milwaukee, talk to me.
Keith, yeah, first look, I had 7-5 Canelo. Second look, I had a draw. That's the best Canelo we've seen. He's only going to get better. Any little slippage in GGG or little G, it's rap for him. This is smart business. The guys all talking, right? They sell the rematch right now. I think we're seeing the growth in Canelo. On my last point, I think Canelo could have took this in the bag. If he just sat down in the pocket and banged just a little bit more, it would have been a Canelo win. That's it. That's my call.
Young Smack, thanks for calling in. We're going out to Fight Fan Franco.
What's up, fellas? Hey, I had it 7-5 Triple G. I gave Canelo 2, 3, and 10 through 12, but I acknowledge that 1, 4, and 10 were swing rounds. So to me, the most I could have gave it going the other way was Canelo 7-5. So a draw was straight. But with what y'all just went through with all of y'all's cards, there's actually like 6 swing rounds. If I combine what everybody was talking about, so maybe her card wasn't that bad. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not mad at a draw, to be honest with you guys. I'm not mad at a draw. And I can see it going 115, 113, and still scoring a draw on everybody else's on the judges' cards, Dave Marati and all of them.
301, first time caller, 301-267. 301-267, first time caller.
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, first time caller.
Yeah, my name's Marquis.
Marquise, where you calling from?
DC.
DC, 45 seconds, go.
All right, fellas, let's look at it closely. If Floyd Mayweather would have fought Triple G the same way Canelo fought Triple G, with the movement, hitting him whenever you wanted to hit him, different angles and such, right? We wouldn't be saying this. It's the fact that it's Mexican style, yada, 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 which is why we even have this conversation. Canelo made Triple G look like a damn fool in there. That's my call.
Did Canelo look like Mayweather? Question mark.
323-271. 323-271. First time caller. Going once, twice, 3 times you're out. T.O. from Texas.
Yeah, my call, I had a Canelo 7-5, 1, 2, and 3, 10, 11, and 12, and I think 6 was a swing round, which I guess is Canelo. And to top it off, I think HBO did a disgusting job, especially with Jim Lantley being biased as shit. And I don't know, did y'all notice Canelo wearing winning rounds? You think that could have had an effect on his punching power?
I definitely noticed he had them on. I don't know if they made an effect. I hear that winning gloves are better for protection. You know, all the fighters I know use them during sparring. I'm starting to see fighters use them now for actual fights. Canelo being the biggest name because the last guy was Inoue, which was obvious since where he comes from. It just makes sense. But Canelo not impressed me, but definitely surprised me with that. T.O., That is your time. Getting on to Mason. Talk to me. Mason.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. 45 seconds, go.
Okay, for sure. So a lot of people was messing with Canelo for nostalgic value because he was the last thing that's close to a prospect to fuck with Mayweather. So and a lot of people Canelo could do no wrong. That fight that was hosted on between him and GGG was based on who was the most active. Because this nigga Canelo, he had all that shit, all that being on the ropes and shit like that. It just wasn't good enough because GGG kept moving. That's what that fight was based on, and that's why GGG won the fight. So I'm gone.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for calling in. We're going out to the 404-664. 404-664. First time caller.
Absolutely. What's going on, fella?
What's up, brother? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Jason Woods from Kansas City, Missouri.
Jason from Missouri. You got 45 seconds, brother. Voice your opinion.
Yeah, I scored the fight, man. I had the fight going even through 6 rounds, and I think Triple G ended up with that pressure behind that jab. Canelo got tired. I was watching Dante's Boxing Nation. They had a champion on there. He kept touching his toes and things like that. So he was getting tired around the waist from all that movement and the muscle movement that he was doing. I gave Golovkin all the way through 11 and gave Canelo the 12, so I had an 8-4 GGG. Canelo just wasn't active enough. I'm gone.
All right, Jason, thanks for calling in, my friend. We're going out to New York City, 917-477. 917-477.
Yo, what's up?
First time caller, my friend. What's your name?
AJ from Queens, New York.
AJ from Queens. 45 seconds, go.
All right, check it. I've been boxing for over 12 years. I was watching the fight. I actually watched it with the sound off. I didn't want the crowd noise to distract me from what was happening. I saw Canelo putting on a boxing clinic for the first six rounds. I really gave GGG just the third round. And in the first 8, I got Canelo winning 6-2, maybe even 7-1. So you could almost justify that 118-110 scorecard, even though I think it's crazy. You really got to be biased for Canelo. But I still think Canelo, his defense was just superb. He made GGG miss a lot. And I actually think GGG lost his last 2 fights. He got his ass whipped by Danny Jacobs. And I think he lost this fight 115, 113, maybe 116, 112, Canelo. But I'm not mad at the draw. All right, thanks, fellas.
AJ, thanks for calling in. I'm going out to the 832-955.
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, Ness? Mr. Sweet Science. You got me on Instagram as Black James Bond. Shout out for all the love you show up on the post and everything. I had a Triple G winning 8-4 easy. On my pre-fight breakdown on my YouTube channel, I said the key to the fight was going to be the jab. Triple G tamed Canelo with the jab. I don't see how people can have Canelo winning the fight when he got outlanded. And in boxing, like, I don't give a – he missed shots on Canelo, okay. He dodged shots, but did he make him pay that much? Not really. Triple G won easy, 8-4. That's my call. Appreciate it. Keep up the good work.
Thank you for calling in, Black James Bond. We're going out to JP in Long Beach.
Long Beach in the house. Yeah.
Hey, so the true definition of effective aggression, in essence, if that aggression is not effective, the fighter is then supposed to be discredited for it, but we never do that. But on to the thing, man, I just think it's always down to clean work versus sloppy work. So as Canelo lands 3 hard hooks and Gennady lands about 15 half glancing landing jabs around, is just depending on what you like. And then another thing we see all the time, and I don't think Canelo can overcome, I think Canelo can get sharper. We just seen him fall off a cliff too fast as far as his stamina. And stamina is like power. Either you have it or you don't. You've never seen a guy gain power, punching power over his career. Same thing with stamina. And I just think Gennady's going to always be able to outwork Canelo. And I think that's what Gennady banked on. And unlike most brawlers, Gennady is smart enough to be able to notch his aggression back and say, okay, you want to run, you're elusive. I'm just going to stay in front of you and keep these gloves on you all fucking night. And that's going to be real tough to beat because that guy's stamina, you can't outwork him. Thank you for the time.
JP, pleasure as always. 909-676, 909-676. First time caller?
Yeah.
Talk to me, my friend. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Matt. I'm calling from Rialto.
Matt, from where?
I thought it was a good fight. Rialto.
Go for it.
I thought it was a good fight. Thought it was a good fight, really close. Wasn't mad with the draw at all. I rewatched it. Had Canelo pretty much kind of like the Maidana fight, making Triple G miss a lot, countering, going at him when he wanted to. I thought he won it by playing, but I wasn't mad by the withdrawal. It was good.
Well, all right, Matt. Thanks for calling in, my friend. We're going out to the 626-482. 626-482. First time caller. Once, twice. 323-794. 323-794. First time caller.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
What's up, brother? My name is Alec. I'm calling out here from Los Angeles, California.
Alex from Los Angeles. 45 seconds, go.
All right, man. I just want to say for the people who are watching it just through HBO, I'm a Canelo fan. And when I was watching it, I was getting really biased suggestions from HBO. So once I watched it the next day in the morning without the commentary or anything, I had Canelo up 7-5. So I just want to say, biased opinions really do change your thought on the fight. That's all I wanted to say.
All right, brother. Thanks for calling in. We're going out to some alumni.
What's up, Boxing Voice? Compa de Los Angeles.
Compa.
What up, Matt? What up, what up, Hipster? What up, Doomsday? What up, Casual Ape? First of all, I just want to say, good fucking fight. First time watching the fight, I had it 115, 113 for Triple G. The next morning, I woke up, smoked a fat-ass joint, watched the fight again on mute, and I had Canelo winning 116, 112. But I don't know shit about boxing, so it is what it is. But good looking out, Boxing Voice. Good looking out. Border Wars, baby.
All right, compa. Thanks for calling in. We're going to go out to Stockton, 209-351. Nate Diaz. Who's this? No?
351, that's Sambo from Stockton, California.
All right, brother. 45 seconds. Go.
Yeah, I just want to say Triple G was the aggressor the whole time. The first 3 rounds. I gave him total maybe 3 to 4 rounds, but Triple G got the rest of the fight, man. He was the aggressor. He was the older guy. Everybody keeps talking about that he was the older guy and Canelo was the younger guy. Shouldn't the younger guy show who he is in boxing? Shouldn't he be on top of Triple G? He didn't show that. The whole time Triple G was on Canelo the whole time. I mean, right in front of his face, brawling style. Triple G should have won the fight. See you guys later.
All right, Sambo. Thanks for calling in, my friend. We're going out to the 323-271. 323-271. First time caller. (323-271). If you're on Bluetooth or speaker, check your settings. What's up, brother? We hear you now. Talk to me. Where you calling from? Nah, brother, you got a bad connection, man. Maybe next time. We're going out to the 720-256. 720-256. First time caller.
Yo, what's up?
What's up, brother? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Just call me Josh. I could call me John Burks from Colorado because I'm scoring this thing 9-3 Canelo too, or maybe 8-4. I don't know. I'm a guy that just appreciates defense.
That's
Mayweather,
right.
You reminded me a lot of Mayweather. He moved like him. I appreciate the sweet science and the grace. Canelo made it look sexy. The Triple G was kind of awkward, and he's unorthodox. And he just doesn't make it look good. So if you could take some pressure, take punches, roll with the punches, counter punch, and make it look sexy, I'm rocking with it.
What you said your name was, my friend?
Javon.
Javon from
Javon Reed.
Oh, Devon?
Colorado. Jalon, J-A-H-L-O-N, Jalon.
All right, we got you, brother. Thanks for calling in, man. We appreciate that. I want everybody not to forget to subscribe. This is a spontaneous show. We're usually around here.
Join us every Thursday and Sunday live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
And if you're enjoying this show, it costs you absolutely nothing to drop us a 5-star review on iTunes, because you could take us on the go. You could be listening to us while you're on your bike rides, your walks, your jogs, on podcasts. If you have an iPhone, just download the podcast app. If you're on Google Android, we're on the Android Play Store. Just download the podcast there. And you can always take us on the run. Drop in the earbuds or whatever beats you're using and take TBV with you. We're going to go out to Texas to
JD, motherfucker.
There's a lot of things I like to do, so just try to get on my game on boxing. I don't know why they gonna call me, but I'm a 54-pounder. But I have a brother that's at 160.
Yo, I just got through rewatching the fight. My initial reaction was, I had Triple G winning by like 8 rounds, right? Then I went back and rewatched it, and I had Triple G. I actually scored it this time, and I had Triple G winning 7 rounds. So, I don't know what to say about this, man. Like this is one thing I can say is, man, shout out to Danny Jacobs, because he clearly showed he was a better fighter than Canelo.
I don't know about that,
man. I don't know.
I don't know about that. What does that even mean? What the hell? What does that even mean? He got dropped. Canelo didn't even get dropped.
Did Danny Jacobs?
And Canelo respected the rules of the fight. He didn't have an influx in weight strategically.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
So what?
All that happened. Happened.
What? I mean, seriously. So I'm just now tuning in.
First of all, Jacobs ain't even land the combination punches that Canelo landed. Please, bro. Please. God, man, that's right. Yo, Igloo is right. Gunshots, man. Let's bring him out. This guy's. Yo, you had almost a perfect call till you try to squeeze in some love for Jacobs, where normally he would get some. But right now to say that Jacobs did better than Canelo, you're insane.
You don't, man. That's crazy. You don't think so?
No, you're crazy that you think
but
so.
Jamal Charlo definitely beats Canelo. Definitely.
That has nothing to do with whether Canelo was more impressive against Triple G than Jacobs. One was dropped and knocked down. One was not. One never got hurt by a single shot. One did.
Yo, look at Jacobs' eye. Look at Jacobs' eye. Look at Jacobs' eye.
And so is Canelo. There are people that think Canelo won. It may not be the majority, but you can't make the argument that the majority thinks.
Nobody say Canelo won.
Yo, Jacobs was taller, bigger. Come on, man. Canelo went in there, the smaller guy. Jacobs been at 160 all his life.
Canelo seemed more accurate too.
And still wanted to get the weight influence. I mean, get out of here.
What does that have to do with the actual fight?
JD, you have 45 seconds and you are gone, man. You better keep your hands on the steering wheel on that road. Goodbye. Final thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. I think that we still need to review this. We might have to do a what was those things we used to do a lot of?
Film study.
A film study. We might have to do a film study, but I think that, you know, the way that we went about this show and doing the cards the way that we did round by round, I think it'll be hard to change those opinions once again. But I think I'd still be interested in watching this together.
Yeah, I agree.
Final thoughts are, fighting is this is boxing, man. Until some sort of rich tycoons come in and start a international league and decide to go to each commission and say no promoter can pay you anymore, no promoter can hire you anymore. We're going to make sure that your however many number of judges you have in New Jersey and you, Mr. whoever you are in New York, and you and Mr. Commission in Vegas, everybody, until they get them a union, right? Because that's where it's going to start with. They have to get those guys a fucking boxing union, the referees and the judges, so that these Bob Arams, De La Hoyas, Al Haymans, if I doubt he does, can't take these guys out to dinner and tell them, hey, come score the Anthony Joshua fight all the way in UK, and you're a fucking judge who is retired and you live in New Jersey. Fuck yeah, I'm scoring it for Joshua too. You know what I'm saying? So please, man, it's going to take a whole bunch more than just, sitting a judge in a room and saying, like Matt said, how did you get to 118? Get out of here. Anyway, I am your host, Nestor. Those were my final thoughts. Matt, even though you want to run all over them when you get your own time to do your own final thoughts. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at NesGTO. Follow this fitness journey with me as I try to shred down and see abs in my abdominal region, something we haven't seen since I was about 17, all right? So we're doing it together. It's been more than 30 days thus far, and I'm looking great, just be honest with you. So check me out on my blog, patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. Go.
My final thoughts. And you brought up a very good point, Ness. Until these refs, these fighters, the owners, etc., everyone creates a union, just like every other professional league, and there's actual oversight. There's actual accountability because all these individual entities and parties will have to agree upon them for the rest of the sport. We're not going to get any change. We're not going to get any permanent change, at least. New Jersey and California have been doing an excellent job in experimenting with scoring fights, with putting judges in other rooms with TVs instead of putting them by the ring. New Jersey is doing that. New Jersey is trying things out and experimenting with things. Hopefully in the next couple years, their studies find that having judges in the back room with the TV leads to better scorecards and more consistent scorecards. But again, these are all little things that if you add them all together, will hopefully improve the sport. But again, this was a great fight. I know there's controversy to this, but this was a great fight. We should be happy about that we got the fight actually, that it wasn't postponed and marinated for another 2 years. We got the fight, and it was an amazing fight. It was arguably an instant classic. So I'm happy about the fight. I'm happy we got it, and I hope we get the rematch Cinco de Mayo, May 5th next year. But this is Matt the Hipster Hunter. You can find me at Mixed Combat News on Twitter, Matt Hunter TVV on Instagram, and my MMA podcast, Mixed Combat Radios, on Patreon, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, Facebook, etc. Peace.
What can I say? I'm gonna leave it on a positive note. It was a great fight, Matt. I think it was the people who did pay for the pay-per-view. I think they're happy. I think they got a fight. Two top guys at the highest level in their division, and I enjoyed it, man. I really did. And now we might get to see it again. And as far as the judging, I think that's going to be that way for a while, man. until there's eyes, like you said, in the back, or eyes that are aerial from the top, and then they're able to see things right on. It'll increase the accuracy, but we'll be yet to see any of that stuff happen. And yeah, great fight. I think both fighters fought a great fight, enough to that where whichever way you swung to, you won't get my criticism. But I scored a triple G according to the cards. So you can catch me on Facebook, Alexander Lainez. You can catch me on IG. That's Alex_Doomsday_Lainez, and Twitter, AlexTBV Lainez.
And really quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to hear about the official announcement for Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz, King Kong himself, that fight's going to be happening in Brooklyn. And Matt, I just want you to know, the growth is so huge. Check this out.
Oh, I need to click on your screen. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. Let me click on it. Here we go. Boom. Oh.
Yo, why can't you just you can't post that up on the computer and screen share?
I want to do it the hard way. How about
read that?
Take my word for it. And my word is that obviously whenever we do a live show, we post on Instagram simultaneously. So King Kong Luis Ortiz seen it himself and said,
what do you say?
This will prove what Boxing Voice knows or don't know about boxing. They are saying Luis is slow. Luis is old. Luis looks bad in his last fight. Luis sleeps Wilder all day, every day. Everybody knows Cubans fight depending on their opponent. I'll bet anything Luis sleeps Wilder. Wilder only chance is running track that night around the ring like a chicken with his head cut off. Facts, #bet, talk after the fight. And that's if Wilder even shows up. And I said, I want an invite to the camp.
Yo, that was Luis Ortiz's social media director?
That was Luis Ortiz's official Instagram commenting on our episode. So you guys should head on over and listen to what got Luis Ortiz triggered. And also, don't forget to check out the Billy Joe Saunders episode. They got a ton of hate in the comments, yet has more views than the Deontay Wilder one. I'll say goodnight on that thought. Bye-bye.
Peace.